Hey guys, Dynasty Warrior 6 here again with another Game Finds video. This Game Finds is relatively smaller. It's only about 3 games, guys. So just to give you an update on that. And then also the painting of the house is going really well. If we are Facebook friends, damn fly. If we are Facebook friends, you probably know that the painting is going pretty good. It's taken some time. It's hard. It's kind of hard to do by yourself in a way because you're always going up and down a ladder half the time, or you're always stuck in one spot. This house has never been painted before, really. So what's happening is the paint is just sucking, going into it. Like is like the first coat. Like wood has pores, and if to give you guys an idea, little pores, like little tiny ones, like just like a skin, and the paint will go on the surface and it will cover most of it. But then you get these little dots, like these little specks where the paint you didn't cover it. Like there's no paint in those specks. So you have to go back over it and over it and over it. Sometimes you're going over it like 4 times, getting all the little specks because when paint dries, that's when the pores become obvious because you could lay on paint like boom paint, and then all of a sudden you go back, you're like, what the hell, I thought I got everything. Turns out the paint kind of went into the pores and disappeared. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like time travel warp thingy. Wow. So anyways, that's what happened, but the painting is going good. I probably got about 80% of the house done right now. I still have to do the trim work. That's going to be a whole nother thing. But the base painting, I got at least probably 75 to 80% of the base painting done. Mind you, I've got to do the pitch on the roof, which I have to climb onto the roof and do that. But I'm saving that kind of for the end because I don't want to go climb on the roof like 4 times, like one time to do the base painting, one time to do the trim, and it'd be ridiculous. So I want to try to do the base painting or the pitch at the end and do it all at once. So that's that for that one. And then I gotta do the side of the driveway still, like the top area of that. I've got most of it done, and then I've got the rest of the front, and then all the trim. And then all the trim is gonna be difficult because the trim is more like you have to lay out, do painter's tape and then paint it, and then take the painter's tape off as soon as possible, but making sure it looks clean and you have good clean lines and everything like that. So that I'm not really looking forward to, but that is just part of the process. It's going to be tough on the trim. But anyways, game finds. All right, 3 games, all really good games. We got 2 on the Sega Genesis, complete in box. They are classics. They are definitely must-haves if you're a Sega Genesis fanboy. It's nice to have these back in the collection again. I sold these when I sold my collection. The first one is Altered Beast. I got this at Game Haven for like $18.99. I was, I love Altered Beast. I love the game. It is complete. Just to show you guys real quick. There you go, Altered Beast. Good looking cart, good looking game. Love Altered Beast. Cannot go wrong with Altered Beast. The next one, this one I can't quite recall. I think it was like $15. I think, honestly. It wasn't like super pricey, super expensive. What the hell is that? This one is Streets of Rage 2. Gotta love Streets of Rage 2. This is probably my favorite Streets of Rage game of all time. There's definitely... What is that? Okay, I see what that is. It's definitely one of the best Streets of Rage games out there. I played Streets of Rage 1 and 3. 1 is pretty good. 3 is kind of random. 3 was definitely, you could tell they were really stretching the gambit there on that. But 2 I thought was just right. I thought 2 was just enough of the good, side scrolling beat 'em up. But the only thing I missed was the backup, the officer pulling in with the cop car and going like nuclear nuking them. So yeah. And then let's see, the last game that I got is this one was like 25, I think, from what I remember. It was a little higher than I normally like to spend, but this is a game I actually never owned, even when I had my retro game collection at its peak, even when I had like the 800 video games. Now I owned the rest of the series almost on PS2 and a little bit on PS3, but I never owned the PS1 one, and I was really mad about that because I had all these other great games. I had Resident Evil, I had Fatal Frames, I had Dino Crises, I had Parasite Eve, I had all these survival kind of horror-ish games, but I didn't have this one, and it always upset me. But I finally got it. I got it Black Label. Definitely a must have if you're a PS1 collector. And I got Silent Hill Black Label. It's a classic. This game is just classic, awesome. So I got Silent Hill Black Label for $25 about. And I was so happy adding it in. You seldomly find it Black Label too. It's one of those games that you always have difficulty finding. So I was kind of like, man, I gotta. As soon as it was a girl like Sharia, or it was a Game Haven, and she showed me it, and I go, fudge, I'm buying that. So I bought it basically as soon as she showed it to me. I'm like, I'm getting that. I'm getting that. Don't even bother. I'm getting it. So bought the game, and I'm totally happy because I never owned it even before I sold my Hute when I had my my big collection. Never had it. So I was really happy adding that in. So that was it, guys. That was the entire Game Finds. There wasn't a whole lot, going on the Game Finds avenue. It was definitely kind of slim pickings, but it's okay. It was a slow week. I had a lot of bills to take care of course, car payment, credit cards, uh, oh gosh, water bill, everything like that. So, bills are taken care of though, of course. That's always good. Uh, got more paint, of course, which is always good. Got just taking care of just stuff, and the house is coming along real well with the paint on the outside. It's just tedious and exhausting, and it's tough on the wrist. It's really hard on the wrist sometimes. Like my wrists are killing me sometimes. Like I start to lose strength pretty quickly on my wrists now because all the time I keep painting, but I don't want to stop painting because the house is going to be like partly done. It's going to look really stupid not to have the house like at least all the base painting done. As long as all the base painting's done, I could kind of wait on the trim and give myself a week or two to really recover. But I got to get through the base painting at least, and at least part of the trim. If I do the pitch last, or like when I start doing the trim, I could knock out the pitch real quick and the trim on that, and then just climb down and not do that again for a while. So, anyways, other than that, guys, that's about it. I'm hoping to get more more games during Game Finds here. I'm just gonna keep on the hunting, keep on plucking along, and hopefully I pick up some stuff so you guys can see. Post another video. But that's about it, guys. So I will hopefully see you guys later in the week.